Okay, hello everyone. Today we're going to explore how AI can transform education. And this is something that was written by Mr. Bruce Lee for ICANN Academy. The point of this is for us to understand AI in the perspective of an educator. So, specifically, we'll actually look at a breakthrough idea from the 1980s that remains highly relevant even today. And we call this the two sigma problem. And we'll also discuss how AI can assist teachers and students in ways that we never thought possible before. Okay, so let's get into it. So in 1984, Benjamin Bloom discovered something revolutionary in education. So his research showed that students who received one-on-one tutoring scored two standard deviations higher than those in regular classroom settings. So this meant that they were in the top 2% of their peers. But what is the challenge of this one? It's simply too expensive to provide one-on-one tutoring at a large scale, right? So there was actually a catch. Providing one on one tutorials to every student on a large scale is too expensive and impractical. While it's clear that this personalized approach is effective, it's not feasible for most education systems. So Bloom called this problem the two sigma problem. Okay, it's about finding ways to replicate the effectiveness of one-on-one tutorials in group setting. Now imagine if we could replicate the effects of one-on-one tutorials using technology, then we already have AI. AI is already capable of doing this, and AI can provide personalized feedback and it can guide students just like a tutor would. And as AI improves, of course, its ability to scale individualized attention to every student becomes more and more feasible. So, after Bloom's two sigma problem, many attempts were made to find effective teaching methods that could replicate the one on one tutoring effect. However, no method has truly exceeded or matched that effect. So, the results suggested that there's something inherently powerful about student the teacher student interaction that can't be easily replicated. So, in statistics or in statistical terms, 2 sigma above the mean puts student in the top 2.3%. So, illustrating how significant one-on-one tutoring can be. So, AI will significantly change the way teaching is done. Um, but it won't replace teachers, definitely. What we're likely to see is a shift in how teaching happens. So, for instance, with the release of ChatGPT, students are now asking fewer basic questions as they can simply ask AI, right? However, AI can't replace the essential social aspects of classrooms because classrooms offer more than just content delivery. They also provide opportunities for collaboration, problem solving, and developmental development of social skills. So the thing is, AI is already helping teachers, as you know, to create more engaging and structured lectures, for example. So instead of relying solely on traditional passive learning formats, AI will enable more active learning. In the short term, AI can assist teachers by preparing content that aligns with students' learning styles. So making it more personalized, making the process more dynamic. So this shift will enhance the way we teach and deliver content, ensuring that the students are more actively engaged in the material. So in the long term, traditional lectures may become obsolete, and that's something that's true. So it's fading away, as you see right here. They rely too much on passive learning. That's one, where students listen and take notes, but don't actively engage. So, studies show that a standardized one size fits all approach fails many students, and that is what we do currently, right? So, one size fits all is equals to student disengagement. So, um, either because of this, students either leave left behind are left behind, or they're caused to lose motivation. So the thing is, research tells us that mixing multiple topics together actually helps students remember concepts better. And even though students may not like them, homework and tests remain effective learning tools. Yes, that's one of the research that was conducted that tells us that homework is still effective and tests as well. So even before AI, homework was losing its effectiveness. That's the thing. You know that students use GPT nowadays, but in the past, in 2008 specifically, 86% of students improved their test scores by doing homework. Okay, so that was prior to AI. So by 2017, the number dropped to 45%. Okay. Because many students simply looked up the answers online. So that's the start of the access to the internet. People no longer use actual books, but they just use internet. So some people even purchase essays from professional writing services. So nowadays, AI makes this even easier. AI score functions is summarizing, problem solving, generating texts, they're all practically designed for cheating, as we know. So this shift calls for a greater emphasis on active learning. But the challenge is that active learning requires significant resources and effort to implement. So active learning is difficult to implement because of time and effort required to create meaningful activities. That's true. If you have four students, that's already a hassle. But this is where AI becomes a powerful partner. You hear it right, partner. So teachers won't be replaced, but they will work alongside AI to design engaging customized lessons. For example, history professor Benjamin Green, he used AI to create a Black Death simulator. So the goal is to immerse students in history far beyond what textbooks could achieve. So AI can also personalize learning in a flipped classroom model where students study at home and come to class ready for discussions and problem solving. So AI driven systems could revolutionize the effectiveness of flipped classroom by adapting lessons to each student's needs in real time. So, as AI takes on instructional tasks outside the classroom, teachers can focus on deeper interactions with students. So AI tools like what Khan Academy, they have the Khan Migo, and it's already helping by analyzing students' learning patterns and then offering targeted support. And then another thing is AI can answer the fundamental questions students often ask. Why do I need to learn this? So imagine an aspiring soccer player learning about cellular respiration. AI can connect the concept to nutrition, to athletic performance, so making it more interesting for students. Okay. So if your student, for example, is a soccer player, then use that advantage so that they will become interested. So essay have long been a cornerstone of education, but AI is reshaping this. Today's AI models produce writing that's natural, well structured, and even tailored to specific styles. So, detection tools struggle to identify AI generated work, and they often flag non native speakers unfairly. So, this raises an important question, actually, important questions. For example, should using AI for an outline be considered cheating? What about getting help with the bibliography? Or what else? Other questions like should AI assisted writing be considered cheating? So instead of banning AI, we must rethink how we evaluate learning with an AI driven world. So education has always been seen as the key to improving incomes and intelligence. Yet, two-thirds of young people in developing countries still lack basic skills. So, educational technology actually has a solution for that, and that is free laptops to online courses. And unfortunately, they have repeatedly fallen short. But AI is changing everything by giving teachers access to resources that were once reserved for experts teams with million-dollar budgets. So AI has the potential to bridge the education gap and transforming learning experiences globally and bringing us closer to the two sigma problem. Okay, so we can bridge the gap. So when calculators were first introduced to the classrooms in the mid 1970s, they sparked a reaction, not unlike the current concerns surrounding AI, though. Okay. So many teachers were excited about calculators because it has the potential to make learning more engaging and to help students solve complex problems. However, others were concerned about calculators interfering with students' ability to learn basic skills like mental arithmetic. So a survey at the time showed that 72% of teachers and the public in general, were opposed to using calculators for seventh grade teachers. So over time, the perspective on calculators began to change. So by the late 1970s, 84% of teachers wanted calculators in the classroom, recognizing their potential in improving learning. However, only 3% of schools had them. And teachers received what? Like a little formal training on how to use the tools. So, despite the debates, calculators were integrated into the curriculum by the mid 1990s here. Though some tests still prohibit their use, it was still integrated. So, today, they actually remain a fixture in math education. But even though there's a debate about their role in the future. So, AI in education will likely follow a similar trajectory to calculators. You can compare both of them. Initially, there will be resistance, like what we feel right now, with what teachers or parents feel right now. Um, some assignments will allow AI, and others will prohibit the use. So over time, we will reach a practical consensus on how to integrate AI into learning while ensuring that students develop critical thinking, writing, and problem solving skills. So just as calculators develop what it, just as it did not develop um, like independent learning because it did not eliminate the need to learn math, AI won't eliminate the need for critical thinking and writing. While it may take time to find the right balance, we must embrace the changes as the genie is already out of the bottle. So AI's integration into education will shift how students view their assignments. So they'll start to ask, why do I need to do this assignment if AI can do it for me? So students will begin to see AI as a valuable learning companion, one that can help them achieve more, think critically, and collaborate. And of course, educators have to address these questions by rethinking what assignments are meaningful in today's age. So the rise of AI calls into question the survival of traditional homework. As AI becomes more involved in students' learning, educators must quickly adapt, finding new ways to preserve valuable educational experiences while accommodating these changes. So, instead of focusing solely on preserving outdated methods, this is an opportunity to develop a new approach or new approaches that can engage students and motivate them effectively. Education must now prepare students to collaborate with AI effectively. Students will need to develop AI literacy. It is about learning how to write effective prompts and work with AI in real world scenario, which is what we are doing in SAT orienteering. This will require new skills such as prompt engineering, I mean, and it will help students build capabilities they'll need for future careers. AI has the potential to make the impossible possible by offering students opportunities to push the boundaries of what they can achieve. One of the most important skills to teach is prompt engineering, which is what we're doing, like what I said. AI works best when given clear, logical, and step by step instructions. Techniques like the chain of thought method, which is COT, can help improve the accuracy of AI responses. Interestingly, AI behaves more like a human than traditional software, meaning that creative, well thought of prompts can yield better results. This approach will be essential for students as they collaborate with AI and apply it in the future careers. So, I guess that's all that I have for you today. I hope this can enlighten everyone on how AI can be used in classrooms, as what Sir Bruce wants. And I thank everyone for listening and have a great day.